Uniform, 7 November. She's an amateur television society. We're starting in about 10 minutes. Ron, can you hear me okay? WW7ATS.
7QKU. You sound pretty good.
Are you guys ready? You gotta push the talk button and count 1 Mississippi before you talk.
Okay, I said negative. I'm not aware of it.
Okay, well, I was given a live stream that I can go ahead and see if I can somehow figure out how to go from my text messaging to the digital trail. Let's see how many people check in tonight, and we'll have a net based on that length of time. Does that sound good? Okay, again, you were truncated, but I think I heard the tail end of a sure. Good evening. My name is James. I'm Whiskey Uniform 7 November WW7N, and someone's waving at me on one of our video screens. So let me give Richard a chance to talk.
I was just in panic mode. I had all kinds of things going on at the same time, James. So good to hear your voice, loud and clear. And yeah, let's move forward and find out what the heck's going on. K7ITX.
K7ITX, this is WW7N. Okay, my name is James, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio operators who take to the airwaves with fast scan analog television on Wednesdays and on Saturdays, and that starts at 8 p.m. Pacific time. It goes for 1 hour. Anyone is welcome to join our net, even if you don't have video equipment, and that is if you just want to check in and say hello, see if that push to talk button works, or if you are more interested in joining our conversation, we can direct you to where you can see what we're talking about on the ever helpful internet, or you can join us and jump in down the rabbit hole with both feet. So, my name is James, WW7, and I see so far, stand by. So far I see Richard, K7ITX, and then I see Ron, K7QKU. Who else is joining us tonight? Jim out in Covington, M7QO, and I'm not sure what's going on with our audio channel tonight, but you really do have to count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi before you talk. I'm really trying hard to do that. I hope I'm coming through okay. So who else is joining us tonight? So we got Richard, Ron, Jim out in Covington, and myself, James, here in Bellevue. Who else? Okay, well, let's go to the top of the list. Richard, K7ITX. Ooh, did I catch you unaware? You were the first one on the top of the list. I was going to let you go first and see what you have to show us tonight. Richard, did you want to go ahead first?
You was here.
We have a double there? Somebody else was checking in?
Yeah, I forgot to wait the 1 second. K9PQ is here. Thanks for doing that. K9PQ, back to you.
Okay, Bob up to the north end, K9PQ. Was there someone else doubling with Bob? Okay, let's go back to Richard, K7ITX. Take it away, Richard.
Well, thanks a lot, James, for running the net tonight. Oh my goodness, I mean, I'm saying, I can't find anything. I was scared to death about the space station, but I'm not finding anything pressing, so maybe you might be able to help us with that after I'm done with my report, or at least my introduction anyway. Let's see, golly. So, yeah, just kind of getting my act together. I'm just trying to think what was on my mind. Of course, Christmas is coming up, and I'm just betwixt. I guess the space station thing really has got me totally confused. So I'll turn it back to you. See, I can't even talk right now. K7ITX, back to net control.
Well, I can certainly understand that, Richard. I just did a scan through some of my usual sources, and I see apparently the problem is the Soyuz docking craft had some sort of serious coolant leak that came out 36 minutes ago. Was released. I put a live stream in the comment section. And I see, for example, they apparently canceled the spacewalk after coolant fluid was discovered leaking out. And I guess they're just in terms of assessing how serious or bad this coolant leak is. So I haven't read anything else, but space.com put it up 36 minutes ago. So anyway, let's go to Ron, KD7QKU out in Tacoma. Take it away, Ron.
Okay, well, thank you, James. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, I don't have very exciting news tonight. I guess after we were on the net on Saturday, my throat got much sore. It was difficult for me to swallow and drink for a while. But fortunately, that got better like Tuesday. So today I'm pretty good. And that's nice to be able to eat without your throat hurting or drink. And, let's see. I haven't hardly been out of the house to get the mail. So, other than watching Christmas shows, I just been spending my time, in the recliner with a blanket over me watching Christmas shows. I watch one in the afternoon and then usually one in the evening. So I'm getting all Christmased out here, or Christmas cheered up or something. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Just depends. Some of them are kind of crazy and others are, heartwarming. So anyway, that's it for now over here in Tacoma. Back to net, KD7KU.
Well, Ron, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. That's good news. Let's go next to Jim out in Covington, N7QO. Take it away, Jim.
N7QO, thank you, Jim. Good evening, everyone. One thing I noticed is that it looks like it's taking maybe about 4 seconds for the 08 machine to drop off after someone stops transmitting. So the repeater may not reset unless we let it completely drop off. That's one little complication. Otherwise, I hear everyone just fine. I have not heard anything about the space station, but on the other hand, I haven't really had the television on in about an hour and a half either. Let's see. Awfully awfully cold out here, nice and clear outside. Nice evening to do something in the clear and cold weather, flying or going for a walk or something. If you're not opposed to the cold, I've got friends who walk their dogs, and usually they do so maybe 9 o'clock-ish or maybe between 9 and 10. I could think of this one dog that they probably won't be able to get outside tonight, but that's okay. I've got 32 degrees at the house right now. I forgot to come out and turn on the heat in the shack a little bit earlier, but it's probably about 70 degrees in here. It's okay as long as I have my jacket on, but otherwise, not too bad. Back to you, Jim, and 7QO.
Bob, K9PQ. Go ahead, Bob, take it away.
Sound like someone was doubling with you if you want to check on that.
Okay, station calling. Go ahead. Well, nothing heard. Once again, we welcome any and all visitors or anyone who wants to join our conversation, check-ins, check-outs, or to join the roundtable. But for now, I guess we'll give the microphone to Bob, K9PQ, up to the north end. Bob, take it away.
Maybe that was just some little oddity. I don't know. I'm playing around with the lighting here, and I don't like this light I just turned off. I'm turning it back on again. Yeah, I got here late, as you can maybe guess. But it's nice to be joining you all. And I had not heard any news about the space station yet. I do know that the Artemis capsule, I think that's what they call it. Anyway, the moon mission rocket capsule came back down, splashed down safely, and they've got it under investigation now. Just typical after action kind of check out. But it's it's nice to see that worked out. That whole mission seems to have been an unqualified success. So that's really cool. But I'll be watching to see what happens with the space station. I think that's good for now. Ron, I heard you say things got worse for you, and I hope they're better now. I didn't catch that. I was distracted. Okay, looks like they're better now, so that's good to hear. All right, back to net, K9PQ.
K9PQ, WW7N, net control time for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Well, one question I have for Ron, I know Joanna is not feeling well. I don't know if Joanna is feeling better. I see a nodded head. Okay, maybe get a report there. And nothing wrong with Christmas shows. I mean, I remember as a kid watching, let's see, my favorites, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. How many years in a row did I watch that on a little, 10, 12-inch screen? And then, of course, there was Frosty the Snowman, I think. I can remember the sound of the narrator's voice, but I was trying to remember who was that narrated that one. I can't read your lips, Clyde Richard. You'll have to give me the international sign, or you'll be coming up soon. Okay, that's the trivia question for tonight. Who narrated Frosty the Snowman? Let's see. The Artemis mission, an outstanding success. That really, that was a high point of my week. I recall someone saying when they only had dummies in the space capsule, someone asked me which politicians were they going to send up there. And so I think you missed the point. But the telemetry on all that worked well. I guess there was a failure of some of the really tiny satellites, the tiny sats that they put out. But who knows? I mean, I think those things are basically souped up cell phones that they shoot out the side of the craft. So, the number they put out, they had a couple failures, but most of them worked, and some of them went into deep space. So it's nice to see that we are exploring the universe again. So anyway, well that's, the last thing I was going to say, just in case anyone has any ideas, here's how useful irony. I have some automation on my 30-year-old refrigerator because it is 30 years old just to keep track of the temperatures. And when the temperature, like for example in the refrigerator section, doesn't stay below 40, it tells me about it. No, nothing is fancy. It's using the space station to, send a repeater message to me. It's not quite that fancy, but it tells me. And so all of a sudden I noticed in this last few days it wasn't cold enough in the refrigerator. And I went, oh my gosh, is the refrigerator finally dying after only 30 years? They just don't make them like they used to. Well, I don't think so, because what I did is I exercised all the controls, and maybe I got corrosion off the controls because it's cranking away over there, so it'll be interesting to see if it's down to 0 degrees or something by morning in the freezer section, and if my milk is frozen solid in the refrigerator section. So that's the second trivia question I have for the night. If anybody knows how to nurse an old refrigerator back to life. So this is James WW7ATS with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society about 15 minutes after the hour. Would anyone else like to check in, check out, or join the conversation? If so, come now. Okay, nothing more. Let's go back up around to the top of the list. Richard, K7ITX, take it away.
Golly, geez, come to me in just a second. Anyway, I got the car in the background here. I was just going to follow up with a report on our last car race where we got, booted off the track or sent home early. Those sorts of, I think some of you might remember that story. I never knew why. And that was just, oh my goodness, that was about 6 weeks ago. I didn't go. I should have. I wish I would have, because those are the kinds of events where, there's trials and tribulations that I relish. And of course, I blew it. I couldn't, it was 5 days notice. Like, what the heck? What I found out is this is a new track for us. Huge, beautiful facility. I think there's 2, 3, and 5 mile tracks all built into one. But I guess we're new there. We did the practice run, and then the first race of the morning. We rear-ended another car going up the hill, and so that brought us in, but come to find out, no contact, just no contact. You're on your way home, whether it was nefarious or not, or just a pure accident or not. You're on your way home. Saturday morning, the best guy in the country with his Datsun 510 was there, and he had a similar incident. These are not bad accidents. These are just cars making contact. They're not, in fact, our car was ready to go back out. So anyway, the number one guy, same thing with him. They said, you're going home too. And he says, well, oh yeah, and he said, well, I guess this guy had 10 other cars with him. Story short, they said, oh, and by the way, not only are you going to leave, but this is the guy with the 10 cars, not only are you going to leave, but your tractor trailer where it says, we're having fun. If we're winning, you're going to take that off the back of your tailgate too. And so, with that being said, it turned into, I guess, a really big close to blow type argument. And anyway, our main guy right now is suspended for 13 months. So this is a story yet to pan out. This is a sanctioning body in the Northern California Bay Area. So anyway, that's long enough for me. K7ITX, back to enough control.
Well, Richard, Sure, thank you, James, WW7ATS here. I didn't catch, I'm fascinated by this. If we're having fun, what did it say?
Only having fun when you're winning. Or something, I don't know the exact word. The problem with that statement is you're at a vintage race car event where contact really isn't allowed. And here's the other weird part. At vintage sports car events, we're not racing. Period. You would no. They don't. A lot of places, at least here at Pacific Raceway, we don't even call them races. Or some places do some. But anyway, well, that's why we don't have a podium for one thing.
We're having fun if we're winning. I'm so dense. I don't understand why that would be offensive. But we're gonna get here. Go ahead. Tell us.
This is not supposed to be competitive to the point where you're talking about winners and losers. It's kind of like Pee Wee baseball and Little League, or soccer. I remember when everybody gets a trophy. It's kind of like that idea.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't mean to disrupt the flow of the roundtable here, but that was worth it. Okay. But anyway, let's go on next to Ron, KD7QKU. Take it away, Ron.
Okay. Well, I thought racing was racing, but maybe I'm mistaken. Sounds like, what do they call this thing, woke? It sounds like the woke has taken over Richard's group of car enthusiasts or something. I don't know. You can all be on the track, but you can't brag about winning, I guess. So they don't want somebody to feel bad. Something. Somebody asked about Joanne. Well, Joanne's doing pretty good. She still has a bad cough, but she's been making breakfast and dinner. She's been working on some things in her office related to that estate that she's been taking care of, the lady that passed away. And let's see, I got a call a few minutes ago from my brother-in-law. I gave him a cheap watch, a digital type watch that measured your heartbeat and maybe your blood pressure and how far you walk and stuff. It was like, $29.95. But when he was having trouble with his pulse rate, and he was going to go in for the ablation and everything, I thought it might be nice for him to have. Well, he called me and told me his grandson was over the other night, and he hooked it up to his watch. So now he's got everything. He can see everything to his phone, his cell phone, hooked the watch up to his cell phone. So it's synced together now. These kids are so smart, that's what he said. It'd take me about 2 minutes to figure out how to do it. I didn't even know it was possible for that particular watch. And I think I read the manual. But anyway, so what else? Oh, I don't know what to talk about. So far we don't have many Christmas decorations up. I don't know if we're even going to put up a tree this year. Christmas is one of her favorite holidays, and she usually likes to go overboard, but she's been feeling so crummy, she hasn't done that. We've gotten a few Christmas cards. We always get a Christmas card from this one lady. She's almost the first to send them out every year. She lives over in Eastern Washington, and I think she gets a little bit bored, and so she gets her cards out early. Well, that didn't happen this year. We just got it the other day. Usually we get it like the first day of December or something. So, I don't know her name. Last name is King, and Christy, and we were surprised. We've been waiting for her card. Every day I look in the mail, where's Christy's card? But she got it out, but finally. So, I don't know if that's exciting or not, but when you get old and you don't have anything to do, it doesn't take much to entertain you. So, with that, I'll turn it back to Ned, and we'll see what else somebody's got to entertain us with. KD7QKU.
Ron, well, thank go next to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO, sorry I got distracted here for a little bit. I got a phone call. Well, so I missed out on a bit of the conversation. Let's see. Seahawks are playing tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. What else is going on? Let's see. Grim news. I had a funeral on Monday, and I have another funeral to attend on Friday. I had a doctor appointment today. I had I don't know if you'd call it a party, but I get together with some friends yesterday. In lieu of an annual Christmas party, there's just a few of us that got together. Kind of a shame things are still all broken up because of the pandemic. Ron, glad to hear that you and Joanne are doing a little better, and I don't see Ron. Well, oh, there he is. And let's see. Hey, my picture on 1.2 gigahertz downlink is not real good tonight. It's been about like this for, I don't know for sure how long. Maybe 3 weeks or so now. Don't know what's going on, but I don't know. That's all I got for right now. Back to you, Jim, N7QO.
Well, Jim, thank you very much up there in Covington. Let's go next to Bob, K9PQ up in the north end.
Okay, well, hello again, guys. Well, you got me riled up. I'm going to tell you, you got me riled up. And I'm going to defend Richard. It has nothing to do with the woke police. It has nothing to do with Pee-wee football or whatever. These are people that have restored old vehicles, put lots of time and money into old vehicles. How they look is important. So while they're racing, they're not racing at all costs. So that's what that's all about. Okay, moving on. My own Christmas thing, it's a Norwegian tradition. We had this all the time when I was growing up, and I bought it for myself and for my brothers and sisters. It's called lefse, L-E-F-S-E, and it is a Norwegian dish. It's best way I can describe it is it's like a flour tortilla, but with potatoes instead of wheat. And it's also a bit richer than a tortilla, and it's sort of an appetizer or a dessert. So you just it's a big round thing about the size of a pizza. You cut it into wedges like a pizza, put butter on it and some cinnamon and sugar, roll it up, and just eat it that way, and it's outstanding. Mine just arrived just before the net, so I haven't actually even opened the package yet, but right after the net I'm going to have some. So yeah, that's a little bit of Christmas going around my house. I don't decorate at all for Christmas. My brother this year, he gave me a set of Christmas-themed coasters, so that's my decoration for Christmas this year. I have them, I just don't get them out. They're in boxes somewhere. Mainly because it's just me. There's no one to share them with, so there's hardly any point. But I will, with that, I'll send it back. K9PQ.
Well, Bob, actually, okay, now I've got to find out lefse now. That's something that you order from a bakery, is that correct?
So normally I would like going to Ballard. There's places in Ballard where you can get it, but there's one I got from Amazon. I think it's Northland, N-O-R-S-L-A-N-D, and I haven't tried it yet, so I can't endorse it, but it had lots and lots of good reviews, and the flavor's really good. They said the only negative reviews I saw, and this can happen with lefse sometimes, is they kind of stick together, and when you try to unfold it to get the circle round so you can cut it, they can break apart. And apparently some people complained about that, but they all said good things about the flavor, so I'm really looking forward to that. Back to you, K9PQ.
Well, Bob, thank you very much. I'm always looking for something early Christmas was 2019. COVID killed the last two, and it's pretty much killed this one too. I think everyone's kind of doing their own thing this year. So I remember one thing we would always have is this dish that's kind of like a thick, spongy, it's not exactly a pancake, you make it in a casserole dish, and then you cut it in squares, and then you pour like jams or syrup on it. I think that comes from somewhere in Scandinavia, but it cannot for the life of me. Let's see, we're about halfway through the net here, so let me put out the call again for any visitors who would like to check in and check out, or anyone who would like to join our conversation with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. If you'd like to join or just say hi, please do so now. Okay, well, I didn't hear anybody, but anyone who's listening in, you can see our stream, what all the rest of us are looking at, by just going to your favorite search engine and putting in Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and you can find us on YouTube. Keep in mind, we don't monitor the comments as they come on over YouTube, because that's just too much for net control to do with everything else we're doing here. So, but anyway, feel free to look, and then if you want to check in or ask a question or something, you can do so. Well, Jim, I'm sorry to hear that you, I'm glad that you want to party, sorry to hear you're going to funerals. That sounds like an interesting mix. So I hope it's working out okay. I find sometimes it can be kind of stressful sometimes. Let's see, and Bob, one thing I was going to say, Bob, if there's something, a Christmas tree called Lefse, it polarizes the nation, maybe someone will come out with a Leitze, and that would be something different, I don't know. And also thank you for the explanation on the race travails. I think I get it now. It took a while there. I'm just a little slow on the uptake on this stuff. And Andy Griffith took over from Jimmy Durante on the narration for Frosty the Snowman. I think that was throughout the 70s, maybe? Is when Jimmy Durante, with his famous Jimmy Durante voice, would narrate Frosty the Snowman. And then Andy Griffith took over when Jimmy Durante had a stroke, I think in 1972, or sometime in the early 70s. So anyway, I'll have to get back to that trivia question. So that's my 2 bits for this round. Okay, so let's go back up to the top of the stack. Richard, K7ITX, you're on.
For right now, we'll see who wins. So, okay, right. Covington Gym, it is the Seahawks are playing, and I made the playoffs. I'm in the fantasy football playoffs. I was able to convince someone that isn't in the playoffs last week to make a couple moves so that my main competition would get beat. He did, and they got beat, and then all I had to do was beat my sister, and her husband let me borrow his quarterback, and he did. I beat her, I gave him his quarterback back, and now I'm in. So I'm pretty excited about my little plan has came to fruition. So now I just got to win the playoff. And of course, I'm playing my sister. I just can't get away from her. It's just, if it isn't baseball, it's foot. Geez, and there's 10 or 12 other people. I don't know why. It's weird. Christmas. I got a double Christmas bonus monetary double Christmas bonus this year. And I'm just a part-timer. But why shall ITX get double the amount? Well, how about if you have another person on your behalf at the office, quite a bit like your YL? That counts as double. So there you go. And what the heck if she got COVID right now? I mean, it was worth it, I think, don't you? K7ITX, back to net control.
Oh my goodness, I did miss Annette, but I didn't know Richard's wife was sick with COVID. I wish her speedy recovery. Ron, KD7QKU, you're up next on the list here.
Okay. Thank you, James. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, that was a surprise, Richard. You told me there was a lot of people sick over where your mother-in-law was. Well, maybe she picked it up over there. But anyway, that's too bad. I hope it's nothing serious. So getting back to Lefse and stuff, my wife's family are Scandinavian. My mother was Scandinavian. And my mother didn't cook many of those things, but my sister-in-law and my wife sure do. So there's some people like butter and brown sugar on their Lefse, and some people like Bob maybe likes cinnamon and white sugar. Either way, it's good. It is made with potatoes. I've never made it. I guess maybe I've seen it. Seems to me like they have a little thing like a waffle maker that you cook them in, and but I'm not sure. But yeah, Joanne, I don't know if she made it once or twice, but my mother-in-law made it quite often. And there's all kind of Christmas cookies and everything that they make. They're all good. But we're not getting any of them this year unless my sister-in-law makes them. Joanne hasn't even, like I say, started to put out any Christmas decoration. I'm sure we're not going to have a Christmas tree this year. That's just too much work for her right now. So anyway, my son, Ron, his first wife, Carol, her grandmother, they were Italian, and the grandmother made something that was absolutely delicious. She called it macaroni pizza, and I think, out at, people that kind of went through depression times and stuff, they had to just do with what they had. Well, she come up with this concoction that's made out of elbow macaroni, and I guess it probably has a pizza sauce on it. It was made in a rectangular pan or dish, and it was I would guess about a half an inch thick, and she cut it in pieces, and you ate it. And I told Ron, man, it was so good that you could start a business with it. Really, it really was. I don't know if he ever got the recipe or not, or maybe she never gave the recipe out. I don't know, but it was, they call it finger licking good. It was finger licking good, and she always made it on special occasions, and everybody looked forward to Grandma's macaroni pizza. And it tasted like pizza, but it looked like something else. But it had all the sausages and pepperonis and, you name it. It was like a combination pizza made with macaroni and a little bit of a crust stuff. I don't know what it was, but all I know, it was sure good. Back to that, KD7QKU.
One of the more unusual Christmas treats I've heard of. Mine from Italy was cannoli, which you're probably familiar with that. Let's go on to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO. Okay. Macaroni pizza, special crust. Any takers on whether or not that crust was Lefse? I don't know. But that gives me a thought. Take that Lefse, slather it with some tomato sauce and cheese and pepperoni, and I'll bet you've got one fine dish. Or eaten straight. It's, I don't know. I think most all of us on this net are pretty food friendly. So, you can't go wrong almost no matter what you do as long as you eat it. Let's see. Andy Griffith replaced Jimmy Durante? Yeah, I would have thought that Burl Ives did Frosty the Snowman. I don't know. Bob, when you were talking about that list, I was thinking, that sounds like it would be really good accompanied opening a pot roast or something like that. And Dick, double Christmas bonus, wow. And Debbie has COVID. Sorry about that. We saw Pippa hanging out with you. I guess Pippa will be hanging out with you and demanding you to put the covers on her for a while. Good luck there. Back to you, Jim, and 7QO. N7QO, okay, this is WW7 Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Next up on the rotation list is Bob, K9PQ. Are you still with us there, Bob? I'm here. I did forget to get my video switched in, so let's make that happen. There we go, that ought to do it. So yeah, you may have seen in the chat, I wrote Burl Ives there, and I feel pretty certain that's who was narrating and singing in there. And the question I have about Andrew Earth replacing Jimmy Durante, it's a film. Once it's narrated, you never have to replace anybody. I don't understand where that's coming from. So maybe you could explain what's going on with that. Macaroni pizza sounds really interesting. You know what it reminds me of a bit is in Cincinnati they got their four-way chili, which includes, among other things, spaghetti in it. And one of these days, I actually was in Cincinnati many years ago, just kind of passing through, and didn't know about all of this at that time, but next time I'm in Cincinnati, if ever, I'm going to get me some four-way chili. Jim, you almost ruined the left some for me by putting tomato sauce on it. Actually, what you said about like a casserole, I mean, it's made with potatoes, and in fact, you start by, when you're home making it, which I've never done, but my brother has a few times, you start by making a very rich sort of mashed potatoes mix, and but it really is more of a dessert item. The only thing sort of savory I've had people will put on is peanut butter. So it's sort of like a sandwich roll-up, I guess you could call it, but it's sort of desserty a little bit, and that like Ron was saying, brown sugar, butter and brown sugar is another real popular one, and then butter and cinnamon and white sugar is another. Those are kind of the two main ways to have it, or just butter. Richard, sorry to hear about your wife with COVID. I just wish her well on that. A good friend of mine's entire household, his wife, sister-in-law, and daughter, and he all got COVID. They all have different symptoms, all different levels of how bad it is, but they're all doing fine. None had to be hospitalized or anything like that, so nothing that bad. But yeah, it's still around. It's not gone, and I get little reminders here and there about that. I had something else. I guess it was the Burl Ives thing. I want to make sure I mentioned that. So yeah, maybe that was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but I think it was Frosty the Snowman. Anyway, it sounds like James can maybe set the record straight here. So I'll send it back to you, K9PQ. Bob, K9PQ. Well, first of all, I got to share a picture here. This is a still frame shot. Hopefully it will come over. So let's see if it does here. I don't see it coming through on 1.2 gigahertz. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's what the ever-helpful internet told me Russia was. I can't give photo credit for that photo. It's not mine. But I was just wondering if that's what it looks like. That is it. That's exactly what they look like when they get rolled up. And they are super tasty. And oh crap, there was one other thing I wanted to mention that I thought of right after I sent it back, and I'm trying to remember now what it is. Oh dear. Okay, I know. Movies, holiday movies. My new favorite on, I believe, Netflix. It's animation, but it's really good. It's sort of a modern style animation and very funny, clever, good movie. Back to that, KNMQ.
Okay, Klaus, K-L-A-U-S. I'm going to have to look that one up. All right, this is a classic experiment you've all participated in. Okay, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I had to check myself, was narrated by Burl Ives. Frosty the Snowman is the one that started with Jimmy Durante, and then they remade it with Andy Griffith. But this is like the experiment where you can suggest to someone a memory, and if they're very closely associated, normal human brains will fill in the holes. And the experimenters said, okay, they showed pictures of someone they knew who had been to Disneyland as a child but had never been there since. And then they asked them, they showed them pictures, and then they said, well, do you remember the Bugs Bunny character at Disneyland? And most people, if you suggested it to them the right way, would say, well, yeah, that was right there with, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and all that. But actually, Bugs Bunny couldn't be at Disneyland because that's not a Disney character. That's a Warner Brothers character. But people's brains would fill it in. So anyway, I find this just fascinating. Because, yes, I had to check it too, because I thought for sure it was Burl Ives. But Burl Ives did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the other one, Frosty the Snowman, both of those shows, I think, were kind of on the cutting edge of sort of a claymation kind of animation, but now I'm going to have to check on that to see if my brain just filled that one in too. So anyway, that's the clarification. I think is correct on that. If anybody gets anything different, this is a video club. I would hate it if I was right all the time. That would be boring. Well, on Christmas decorations, I'll tell you about my Christmas decorations. I got three main pieces that every year I wonder if they're going to make it. I have these little sparkle lights. I'll have to take a picture and show them next minute that I hang on a bush. I have some classic incandescents that you remember as kids, just the ones that look like little elongated pears. And as those incandescent lights have died, I keep moving the survivors over to one end of the string. So a few years ago, it was all the way across my garage, but now it's turned into a corner display. Because the third thing I have is something I think that was given to me that has a little motor and a red laser and a green laser that goes to a projector, and the motor kind of makes the snowflakes go faster, and then the motor kind of gets tired and the snowflakes slow down, and then it gets faster again, and I keep wondering, I wonder when it's going to just give up. But no, it comes through every year. It just doesn't stop. So I got my full house display has now become a corner display because the little, I discovered that the little sparkle lights, I discovered that they're all in series. So if one dies, you lose a whole big section of the string. But I learned that some of those that are still in series, I thought, why didn't anyone design lights like that? Yes, it's a goofy way to design lights. But the reason why it's cheap, but they put the clever Chinese who make the lights now, put in sort of the opposite of a fusible link. So that when the incandescent part of the light died, the little fusible link would short out and you wouldn't lose the whole string. But as you can expect, sometimes the little fusible part doesn't fuse correctly. But if you zap it with very brief high pulses of high voltage, yes, you can get the lazy little fusible link to short over. I'll leave it to your imagination how I did that. So this is James WW7ATS in Northeast W. I see we're 47 minutes after the hour, so I'm going to open it up for anybody else who in particular would want to comment on Christmas light insanity. Just check in, check out of that, and join the conversation for the last 15 minutes. If so, come now. Okay, nothing heard there. And by the way, Jim and Covington, my 1.2 gigahertz picture is superb tonight. It must be the cold weather because it's just come through a solid 5 here in W, Washington. Off of antenna is pretty poor, so that's the report here on the video signal. Let's wrap it around, take it back up to the top. Richard, K7ITX, take it away.
I grew up with Christmas lights, and I mean, to the point where it was embarrassing. And I mean, actually, if you want to know the truth, growing up where your dad is a avid ham radio operator, that is for a kid. That can, especially in the teenage years, towards high, if you're trying to be cool. Well, back then, at least around my high school, it wasn't cool. And so it's kind of a bummer. And so, but Dad, growing up, it was really cool. I mean, as a kid, to see, he had 30-foot radio tower, has to have guy wires, correct? Right after Thanksgiving, he'd lower the tower, he'd crank it down. Well, actually, he used his car. He had a weird setup with the car where he'd lower the antenna, and then he'd put a star on the very top, and then he'd string lights, and the old-fashioned lights all down all the guy wires. And oh brother, you could see this for miles. And eventually, where do you live? Well, you ever seen that house with the big Christmas tree and star on top? Well, it's not really a tree. Anyway, I lived with that for probably a good 20 years, growing up, it was really cool at first, but then I started to get embarrassed, and, I love my dad very much, and, it's just, but I had to bring it up, all this great food. I have to, this is pretty bizarre for me. It's bizarre for you guys to hear, but I never knew I've heard of this before, but I have no appetite. You wouldn't think that's a big deal. I love food. I love the taste. Once I start eating it, I'm enjoying it, but I'm never hungry now for some, pretty obvious reasons. In a couple of cases, it usually involves drugs, but no appetite. That means you can literally forget to eat. I know, and it's creepy, because I've more than I want to admit. I've never, ever in my wildest dream ever thought that, no appetite. That is just so weird. Anyway, I don't know even why I brought it up. It's just because we're talking about food, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it. It's a new thing for me. So anyway, I've belabored that enough, and it's not terrible either. It's actually kind of maybe a bonus as far as keeping my waistline under control. So anyway, so pretty weird about the lights, Mr. James and Bellevue. K7ATS, back to net control.
K7ATS, WW7ATS, fear not, I survived the experiment, which is the most important thing when you start doing random stuff you see on the internet. Okay, next on the list, Ron, KD7QKU, take it away.
This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, Richard, I love to eat. I look forward to each meal, and I'm usually hungry before it gets there. I can't think of very many things I don't like. But anyway, I was trying to get my little camera down here, so maybe I could show you my lights I put around the window. So, see, you can just barely see them, I guess. They're kind of a little different color than some. They're LED lights, and they're in these little cubes kind of things. They never get hot. I had them strung across the front of the house, so I had about 60 feet of them. They were in 15-foot string. I get my camera back up here. So I had to modify them to fit in the window, try to make them fit. In fact, they were, two of them together is too big for one window, and one of them by itself is too big get hot, I just lay them on the floor, the ones that are not needed in the window. But I don't know how I happened to buy them, and I don't even know where I bought them. We had the old, I guess you call them incandescent or whatever they were. They had the big bulbs that were bigger than your thumb, and they were constantly burning out. And it got to the point where I couldn't find them anymore, so one day I just decided to go to LED, and I bought these. And like I say, I don't know when or where, but man, I really liked them. I like the shade of the color. I think they're really pretty. So anyway, I got them around the windows, so you can see them on the inside and the outside. And as Jim in 7QO said, I got this alien tape. It was advertised on TV, but I don't like to buy things like that, so I went to Amazon. Sure enough, they had it, so I bought it from Amazon. And a minute ago, I just had to fix one because it came loose. But it'll stick to the glass in most cases, or the window frame. They don't recommend it on wood, and I don't have it on wood. So then they say when you take it off, it doesn't leave residue. So we'll find out in another few weeks when I take them down. But so anyway, I enjoyed the color and the prettiness of them. And my wife said there's apparently two kinds of Lefse. My wife said that her family likes Herdonga, which is a Norwegian name, and I don't know what the other one is, but she said, and they had a thing like a round waffle maker, and they cooked it in it, or you could put it on the stove, in the heat of the stove. I guess there was one. We may even have one here from her mom's house, I don't know, but we've never made it ever, but we do like it. And sometimes I guess they have it in the grocery store, Joanne says, but usually I think her sister makes it, and we'll probably have some over there. So anyway, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, this is WW7 Whiskey Uniform 7 November, Northeast Bellevue. Next on the list, Jim, N7QO out in Covington. Take it away.
N7QO, thank you, Jim. Well, let's see. Dick, that was a really good story about decorating the tower. Yeah, I can see that. We haven't really done any sort of decorating around the house here, at least not yet. We were planning to put up our fake tree last weekend, but something came up. Maybe we will plan to put it up this coming weekend. We've been really busy so far this month. I can't even tell you all the dumb things we did, but we've been busy anyway. Oh, yeah, loss of appetite. I don't know. My mom's appetite went away when she got Alzheimer's. And for that matter, her sense of pain also went away when she got Alzheimer's. It was really kind of bad. Her knees were like bone on bone, and when she would walk, it would just creak and crack and make all kinds of racket, and it used to give her great pain until a point, and then it's like she just walks around and you can hear her coming for a while, but it didn't seem to bother her. And yeah, she kind of forgot to eat, had to make sure she was fed, whether she wanted to eat or not. So, I don't know. LED Christmas lights. Yeah, the neighbor next door to me has some up now, and they're actually pretty dim. You could see them from the street, but you can't really see them across the street. And I have one other neighbor who did the same thing, and it's about the same way. We could see them from the street, but not from across the street. So, I don't know, to use less electricity, you don't have to worry about them burning out, but not a exactly the same as the incandescent lights. Back to you, Jim, and 7QO.
Well, Jim, out in Covington, thank you very much. It looks like we got about a minute left. So, Bob, I'm going to give you the mic for a second here and let you finish up with that. Go ahead, K9PQ.
Ron, I bought some tape. You got me interested in that tape. I don't know why I didn't buy the brand that you have. I went to Amazon, and so what happens a lot of times is I go down a rabbit hole and say, well, let me see what else is out there. And so I bought this basically a no-name brand tape, but it's the same type. I haven't tried it yet, but it's the same type. It's double stick, and it's kind of thick. And same idea. They claim that it won't leave a mark, and you should use it on non-porous surfaces and all that kind of stuff, like you're saying, like not on wood. So I'm going to give it a try sometime here and see how I like it, but I haven't tried it yet. The Herdona, that's interesting, Jim. I had not, or sorry, was that Jim? I think it was Jim. Whoever that was talking about the types of lefse. I have not heard of that. I'm going to look up that now myself. I didn't know there's more than one type. You can get them in the grocery stores sometimes around Christmas time. I've seen them, but Ballard's the place to go. That's where you'll get the best stuff, and I'm pretty sure they always have it at some of the Ballard markets. That's all I've got. Oh, looks like I've run over. Sorry. Back to net, K9PQ.
No, that's okay. I think the time's up here. It's the top of the hour. That's 9 p.m. or 2100 hours local time on the Pacific Coast here for anyone listening on the internet. My name is James, WW7ATS. Before we wrap this Western Washington Amateur Television Society net up, let me open that repeater up so that anybody can say hello, or if they have anything for the net at all. If so, come now. Okay, well, the WW7ATS meets Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time and Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Anyone all over the world is welcome to join us. We would like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 repeater locally here in the Puget Sound corridor for letting us use this as our audio channel, and also the people who work so hard to keep EchoLink going for the EchoLink channel. And with that, I'm going to say to all, good night. My name is James, WW7N. Perhaps you'll want to tune in again and listen to us again next Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific. Good night.